from Richard PC. The year 2010, they declared me hepatitis B patient. 2010, when I go on myself, I have hepatitis B. Come and capture this news. And what does it need? We are equilibrium. Medical imaging reports. I did not end there. Maybe you are. The circle MedLab. MedLab. MedLab sent this to South Africa for viral load test. And when they brought the results, they asked me whether I have a doctor to attend to me. They beside me said, "My doctor, I'll show me at night." I was in your doctor, and I'm a bar. But they test you with you. Through that, no, and my bar said, "I said, who no cry." And this is the evidence. In actual fact, the first doctor is one Dr. Safo at MedLab. Dr. Safo, our MedLab, Opa. I shall report now, started saying, or canceling me. She started canceling me. Then the end result was that it is above her. Or not to me, it's the boss, our specialist, one professor. From that time now, or share Swan Clinic, because all about the estate opposite in Long Bush shop was from. On the social report, you know, the can say hepatitis B not affecting my kidney at Mama Hospital. After Professor Fram had examined the report, all that he could say was the hepatitis B had affected my kidney, but I had not come to the hospital early. This amounts to what? Death warrant. Death warrant. Persona non grata. He, after examining the report, declared that I had not come to the hospital early. The hepatitis B had affected my kidney, but I had not come to the hospital early. Which means I have been declared dead. So today I'm here to share this knowledge with you, the reason for my survival, which is through the power of God and through my research findings. Because I said I cannot live and be declared dead, so I started looking for antidotes. That is the main reason why I've saved so much to do my own research center and to share the ideas with Ghanaians. Waiting and I'm spending this equity website. Research findings are my ina oh. A choir Yankupon Nam Swa, a man named Dahotiasi since 2010. Nagana Fumu say, the view of how able to meet a medical bill so as simple as that. Yama Brea, Akoya Kodana Mayano. Give it to me, I then. Ama, na brasi. Na just say, Sika Bibra, say no. I then, a swati. Inti, Ubia, on the Biano. These are the facts. Which, today, if I should die, you can use it to let the whole world know that there are certain things that we can manage it ourselves without necessarily resorting to drugs. If you all know, with my research findings, any product via any product I researched into and found it working, there's evidence of it being approved internationally. This is Ghana Standard Board Authority authenticating all the products that I have researched into and I've used it myself. We are the Sidikata every Standard Board. Our product I may use Ajemino and who approve a criteria. Into Bia or Beton's product Biano, I have the legal right to sell. And know that it has all the ISO standard. ISO certificate to it. Is there. So internationally, it is also approved product. The company EB Nanotech, the logo is registered. The BMO technology. And the registration of the company. All this investment is there for you to know in case in future I'm no more. All the research findings are there for you to educate others and save your loved ones. Sir, and as you can tell you now, or was never a mobile the moon say, Yaman look at it. And I'm a dicker, sir. Now, there will be a tie tree. We analysis result from Water Research Institute, Environmental Chemistry Division. Biodiscipline nam the soil and Kupwadum, we discover here. Yes, I mean, discovered the inventor is a German scientist, Jan Rand. Although I know steady the monks in Nepal. I don't know who you see. I just saw Nipa Yare. The sense we natural water. Now, yeah, monks don't come. Oko Western region, I will 12 apostolic church Nakaba. Now, almost soon, I just said Nipa Yare. And yes, we are to go a roofing sheet soon. It is not that water that we fetch from the rooftop. They place the empty container in the open, so they fetch the rainwater direct. That's why we say water is life. It is so crowded, air pure water promotes health. Yes, tap water had the there was evidence. Says the biodiesel tap water and soil, it clears unwanted chemicals in it. It was the biodiesel that, by God's grace, my research findings helped me to be able to be alive today. And through that research findings, we've come out of a lot of findings which Ghanaians need to know. And Africa at large. The reason why I'm not making it globally is that right now Africa has become the highest consumer of electronic products. Africa has become the largest consumer of cell phone usage. Now, if you are to know what cell phone radiation is costing you, you will put your hands on your head and start crying for Africa. Because it means our small foreign exchange, in future we are going to use it to treat health-related issues. Research finding no ama, metumi ehunyama foforo bi aka ho. So, cell phone na use no, e di nyama bebre eba. Na Africa ana sisi ya beye otintim. Yana sisi ya di pa se ka cell phone e use Africa. As a wo hwa nyare a cell phone na de ba. By this time, no, Because here they and Sabu, you start to say yes. Say, and take it the necessary cautionary measures. I think I cry in ya, into me to malaria, no. And the best I are rabbi. Maybe a boy video, my mama shake a crack. You are near again, I said. And now made me on how now become no. Sisi and the yet to me in ya. Be a reading between PC and so we are going to watch video of people who are casualties of cell phone radiation. Near we are practically a better demonstrating. I'm a man who said, when you are dunty, yeah, you will quite as if you are then, you to me this 6 I don't know, and one. Now, or no any information now. And I didn't pursue dear a man, Doffo, and I will be done with piano. Etty, because I idea into me just phone you see that. You continue using it, but there's a need to protect ourselves. So let's watch this video.
A PhD, I'm an epidemiologist and a toxicologist, right? And I'm the author of the National Book Award finalist, When Smoke Ran Like Water, and The Secret History of the War on Cancer, and my new book, Disconnect, The Truth About Cell Phone Radiation, What Industry Has Done to Hide It, and What You Can Do to Protect Your Family.
Today there's an issue about SAR. Epidemic, well. Is that the only issue? Is SAR the only thing we need to be concerned about with respect to cell phones?
Do not go.
Why?
Do not go. Because SAR itself actually is just a relative indication of how much radiation you would expect to go into the head of a very large guy with a very big head for a short period of time. We need to look at the overall picture of what the cell phone radiation does to the body over time, and we need to take into account the young age of so many cell phone users today, kids who are sleeping with cell phones, people who are downloading apps to play to their babies in their cribs. It's a bigger, much bigger issue than just that one indication on a cell phone.
And why now? Why is this an issue now?
I think, unfortunately, because of the people you saw here today, there are more and more people who are suffering because of this. And fortunately, more of them are being able to speak out about it. And people like Ellie Marks, people like Mindy Brown, people like Brett, they are telling you, look, we're here, we think we have suffered because of this, and you need to know that, because we don't want to see the rest of the world go through what we've gone through. So frankly, these victims of cell phone radiation are making it impossible for people to ignore what's going on. Some scientists have been warning about this for decades, and they've been basically ignored. I think the fact that people are stepping forward, talking about their stories, it's heartbreaking. And we have to do a better job of translating what we know from all the experimental science. One of the things that really is very annoying to me and disconcerting, I've worked in public health for more than 30 years. I worked on the dangers of passive smoking. I worked on asbestos. I worked on benzene. I worked on vinyl chloride. And for all of this, we saw the same pattern. First, industry would say there's no problem. Then they'd say, let's look at the animal studies. And then when we have the animal studies, they say, well, the animal studies aren't relative to humans. For example, for smoke, in the beginning, they would blow smoke into the nose of mice, and they couldn't produce lung cancer. So they said, well, therefore smoking doesn't produce cancer. We are, I think, more sophisticated at this point. As a civilization, we should not insist that we have to have enough sick or dead people before acting to prevent harm from happening around the world today.
You'd like to see what, immediately?
Immediately, I want to see warning labels on cell phones. And I want to see children not being able to use cell phones except for emergencies. I want to see people understand that texting is much safer, and you should never hold a small microwave radio next to your brain unless it's an emergency. Now, of course, a short call for a little bit isn't going to kill anybody. But we're seeing people, like the young woman that Dr. Ridgway talked about, on the phone for hours and hours a day throughout their adolescence. And girls talk on the phone more than boys. And we're seeing patterns of disease now with the Israeli Dental Association warning, where we see 1 in 5 cases of malignant tumor of the cheek occurring in someone under the age of 20. we have to wake up. And I think we can do a better job. Otherwise, we face a global public health catastrophe.
Same as cigarettes of the last century?
Worse. And I'll tell you why. The reason it will be worse than cigarettes is because even though the risk is not as great, you never had 100% of people smoking. And we've got 100% of people now using cell phones.
We are going to continue. So from an expert, Nitia Wani said, suffering radiation. Edi nipa nyomokwa sin cigarettes because unye nipa ni nyina some benum cigarettes. But time I can say cigarette ebo nipa yare no. Iti mwechinye sa. But 200 years afina and they adia tuma actually say cigarette can kill. Cigarette can cause cancer. The same thing I hear mobile phone. So for short time there no effect. And the longer time, you know, a child, a density, a dead say, it means so. We are practically the best demonstrative of how we are in the name. When you tell Ghanaians, they don't believe it. Because you are doing now a superstition. Be ye, be not in a drop. The things that are happening to us now, they're just around us. Chemicals and radiation. And we are going to prove for everyone to see. Now let's continue. Now we are going to listen to those who are casualties themselves and how they suffer.
Is there a point where some people are irrational about the fear, or is that even possible?
Of course it's possible to be irrational about fear. That's the nature of fear. And, there are people who are rational about flying. There are people who are rational about taking a car trip for a long distance. We want to let people understand that you can deal with this issue in a reasonable way, that there are simple things you can do. It's not a question of throwing your phones away. That's not going to happen. The phones have played valuable roles in our society. There are some people who still don't have them. But for most people, phones have become, frankly, a really good habit and sometimes an addiction. And we need to deal with that. We really do.
Why are other countries farther ahead than the U.S. in recognizing the problems?
They've had a lot more experience. I mean, in the Scandinavian countries, they've been using cell phones for much longer than we have. And they've seen the consequences as well. In addition, I think there's more of an interest in prevention, at least the rhetoric of prevention. Whereas we want proof. And proof means show me the bodies. I've written this book because I don't want to see bodies be the requirement for acting to prevent harm.
I'm here today for one reason. Basically, I think it's my moral and ethical duty to inform other people who are not in the know on this issue, as I wasn't for 20 years, in probably in excess of 20 years using a cell phone.
On that cell phone was extremely high because he didn't have a landline. He just specifically relied on a cell phone for his daily use for everything, talking to his girlfriend, his mom, to me, to anybody, and was on it probably 10 hours a day. So that's what we want to get out, is we want people to know that this is just the tip of the iceberg. I don't think people realize what we're getting into, that we are just the beginning people that are seeing what's happening to our young people and our families, and it's destroying families. That's what it's doing. It's destroying our family. Our life will never be the same.
Can I get your name again?
Yeah, my name's Craig Farver, F-A-R-V-E-R. We're from Fort Collins, Colorado.
My name is Stuart Paul, brain tumor smatter.
When we learned about our city, we went on to learn about San Francisco, in the right to know ordinance. We also learned about Dennis Kucinich, who's trying to create a new federal research studying community links between cell phone use and brain tumors, and also to put warning labels on all cell phones. And I absolutely agree, they need to put warning labels on cell phones. There was a time that cigarettes didn't have warning labels and people thought they were crazy, but they're not crazy. You hear the families that
their doctors are asking, that's how we found out. Our doctor asked that they use, I know,
So we are going to
how
pause
often
here.
they use the cell phone. And from there, we went on to thank.
There are other people who are also to submit their experience. The baby, I was also have a common day. The time in tea, okay, your website at www.ye for Echo or Emmanuel, B for Bravo or Brother, N for November, A for Alpha, N for November, O for Oscar, EB Nano, now the tech, TECH, account, ebnanotech.com. You get access to all this video information. So we're going to quickly watch what scientists all over the world studied and submitted their findings to the World Health Organization. Here we are. Then we will do practical demonstration. So that you begin to realize that what they are saying is not merely noise making. It is something that because we are not aware, so we have taken it for granted. You get children sleeping with the mobile phone. All that they are doing is about the mobile phone. Their veins are not matured. So by 30 to 40 years time, they are going to suffer more than we. And that is why some of us need to start sharing the knowledge. You any akwakotie their expert, scientists, omushia no. A boy, and come a World Health Organization. So never you be say me the ticket, and I hear. But in Susan, so one be a very fine and so be, especially in Kodana and mobile phone. I owe Mudia no Mudi. Yada cry in the bodies. Or movies, you know, and share them tea. By the time I'm 30, 40 years, I'm very branching.
A potential risk, radiation from cell phones could cause cancer.
Turns out participants in the study who used a cell phone for 10 years or more had doubled the rate of brain glioma.
After several minutes, that it really starts causing DNA problems. It even heats the brain.
What microwave radiation does, in the most simplistic term, is very similar to what happens to your food. When you put your food in a microwave oven, it's essentially cooking the brain.
If you ever put a cell phone to your ear, you should listen to what neurosurgeon Dr. Keith Black has to say.
There's no way to say that cell phone use is safe. I think that the public has a right to know that there could be a potential risk. Environmental factors take decades to see their effect, not a few years.
What can we say about cell phone safety now?
All right, now tonight's top story. Your lifeline to the world is being linked to cancer.
This is the story that we have been talking about all day. Should we really be concerned about using our cell phones? Stephanie, what do you have to say?
Well, Cherie, Jack, we've all wondered if our cell phones are passing